Indochina is a region in Southeast Asia that encompasses Cambodia, Vietnam, and Laos. The French gradually colonized the region from 1887 till 1907 and remained its undisputed ruler for decades. However, its swift defeat during World War II and the Japanese occupation caused independent movements to grow in popularity. One of them was the League for the Independence of Vietnam, better known as Vietminh, which was founded in 1941 by Nguyen Ai Quoc, who would later change his name to Ho Chi Minh. Quoc was an enthusiastic supporter of Marxism and had just finished his political studies in the communist universities of Moscow and China. His connections would more than once support his efforts generously. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, the Second World War officially ended. During the July 1945 Potsdam Conference in Germany, France was eager to re-establish its former colonies, but remained incapable due to the year-long occupation. Therefore, Indochina was divided. China would receive the Japanese surrender until the 16th parallel, and a Franco-British force would take the south. Following the surrender of Japan, the Viet Minh declared the Democratic Republic of Vietnam. The Chinese Republican Army that marched into North Vietnam despised the Viet Minh but was convinced to cooperate. Meanwhile, in October 1945, a Franco-British expedition force landed in the south and defeated the Viet Minh in a 6-month-long campaign. In the north, the Chinese withdrew only after the French renounced all their concessions in China. The move was proposed by Ho Chi Minh. In early 1946, French troops landed in Haiphong to begin negotiations with the Viet Minh. On the 23rd of November, fighting broke out between the factions over trivial matters that eventually escalated and led to the bombardment of the Vietnamese part of the city. 6,000 civilians died in a single afternoon. The Haiphong Incident marked the beginning of the First Indochina War. As retaliation, the Viet Minh detonated explosives at a power plant close to Hanoi. In the ensuing blackouts, they raided French outposts. It took French troops a total of 60 days to regain control over Hanoi, enough for the Viet Minh to evacuate into the jungle. Throughout the following years, the Viet Minh engaged in asymmetric warfare with great success. As a means to oppose the Viet Minh politically, France created the puppet State of Vietnam, that was granted special rights within the French Union and even participated with its own army. With the triumph of the Chinese Communists in 1949, the Viet Minh gained a political ally at their northern border. Support and reorganization strengthened the Viet Minh and intensified the war even farther. By June 1950, North Vietnam also gained recognition from China and the Soviet Union, while the South was recognized by the US and UK. As the Viet Minh gained support, the French lost control. At first, only remote jungle areas, but then also the northeast of Tonkin. The only exception constituted a series of strongholds along the Chinese border. During the Autumn-Winter campaign, the fortress of Dong Qui was overrun, which cut vital supply lines to the garrison of Cao Bang. The French decided to evacuate Cao Bang to the south, while the garrison in that key was ordered to retake Dong Qui and keep hold of it until the evacuation was completed. On the 30th of September, an assault from the south was rebuffed. Simultaneously, the forces from the north were under constant fire from continuing ambushes. Eventually, they managed to link up, but were hunted down and completely annihilated. Of over 6,000 soldiers, only 700 managed to reach French lines. As French morale had hit a new low point, a new strategy was adopted. A series of concrete fortifications from Haiphong to Hanoi were built. At the Battle of VinhIen, the Viet Minh were lured into a trap and suffered 8,000 casualties. Every other attempt to break the line was rebuked with similar outcomes. From July 1951 to 1953, French forces were partially successful with counter-operations in the Red River Delta, but also failed to divert enemy supply lines. To escape the stalemate, the Viet Minh marched into Laos, an ally of France in mid-1953. As a countermeasure, Dien Bien Phu was taken through a parachute drop and fortified. The town, while small, lay on a strategically important supply route, deep in the hills of North Vietnam. Now, it would become the location for the decisive battle of the war. The remote location made it easy for the Viet Minh to isolate the garrison from supplies and reinforcements. The only route was knocked out. Anti-aircraft guns and the monsoon season made it hard to sustain a continuous airlift. On the morning of the 13th of March 1954, the Viet Minh shelled the French positions and repeatedly assaulted the garrison. Despite fierce resistance, the French finally lost the fight on the 7th of May. By the end of the war on August 1st, 1954, the Viet Minh had lost 200,000 men. The members of the French Union had lost 75,000, 20,000 of which were French. 65,000 soldiers had been wounded. The state of Vietnam had lost about 60,000, and 500,000 civilians had been killed in the crossfire. After the decisive defeat at Dien Bien Phu, France released their colony back into independence. Laos and Cambodia were granted their former territories, but Vietnam was divided. The communists under Ho Chi Minh were granted North Vietnam. As an alternative for Catholics and anti-communists, the South became the Republic of Vietnam. Across the emerging nations, various groups fought for political control. The new configuration would not remain peaceful for long. As one war ended, the next was just around the corner.